For years, the drinking age has been 21. Some people would argue this law is working perfectly fine and nothing needs to be changed. Those people haven't been out on a college campus lately. Would anybody like to guess how many of these partiers are less than 21 years of age? If you visit a college campus on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night, you'll see very quickly that the minimum legal drinking age of 21 is not working at all. Not only are underage students getting alcohol without any difficulty, bad and dangerous decision-making is rampant.
It's definitely pretty high, probably 90% of my floor drinks alcohol, so it's pretty high in the building too. Most floors, we always have incidents of alcohol usage, and just even seeing people walk around and you tell they're under the influence, so it's pretty high in the building.
Well, in State College, I'd say about 90% of the time we have some kind of element of alcohol in our sexual assault investigations, whether it be the victim, the assailant, or a combination of both. It's very rare that we see any kind of sexual assaults that don't have some kind of alcohol element to them.
Because the problems associated with alcohol abuse are so serious, something must change. We will address the two major sides of the argument. One response to the failing MLDA 21 is to make the laws stricter by implementing fines, jail time, and rehabilitation classes. Others believe that lowering the drinking age to 18 while keeping the punishments the same will dramatically decrease the number of underage drinkers. Both of these sides have their benefits and detriments, but what arguments do the opposing sides use to support their views? The main argument for MLDA 21 is that it results in safer roads.
Chuck Hurley is executive director of Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
The inconvenient truth is that a drinking age at 18 would cause more funerals. 900 families a year would have to bury a teenager.
However, opponents counter with the fact that traffic fatalities are not the only fatalities associated with alcohol, and that MLDA 21 is directly causing these other fatalities.
It isn't just about lives lost on the highways.
So what we have is a conundrum. A law that has reduced highway deaths may, according to McCardle, be contributing to an increase in off-highway deaths. The Surgeon General says more than 3,000 Americans under the age of 21 are dying every year of alcohol-related causes other than driving, including homicide, suicide, and alcohol poisoning.
This law has been an abysmal failure. It hasn't reduced or eliminated drinking. It has simply driven it underground, behind closed doors, into the most risky and least manageable of settings.
Like basements, fraternity houses, and locked dorm rooms.
If the proponents of each side are correct, and the number of deaths caused by MLDA 21 is 3,000, while the number of deaths prevented is 900, we'd have to be absolutely crazy to keep the drinking age at 21. But it's not quite that simple. Making the current laws stricter would also have an effect on overall deaths, probably reducing the number of deaths caused by the drinking age. In addition, it is nearly impossible to tell which deaths are caused by MLDA 21. Proponents of stricter MLDA 21 say that fewer people would drink due to fear of the law, and that more responsible drinking would result because the law was enforced. Proponents of lowering the drinking age to 18 point out that stricter laws are useless if enforcement isn't happening. And as shown by our interview with the State College police officer, this enforcement is not currently happening. State College police officers arrest only 500 people for underages every year. A new law passed by the Pennsylvania State Legislature aims to enforce drinking violations more strictly. Beginning Christmas Eve, the $300 fine that underage drinkers have faced will increase to $500 for a first offense and $1,000 for a second offense, a change made largely because of costly, time-consuming alcohol-fueled crime in State College, home to Penn State University. Governor Tom Corbett said the fine hike was designed to give underage drinkers more pause for thought, but also to give college towns help in offsetting their cost of responding to alcohol-fueled crime. Thomas J. Fountaine, State College's borough manager, testified at a September hearing that, quote, week in, week out activity associated with excessive and high-risk alcohol use truly creates significant costs and contributes greatly to the over $3 million that the borough spends annually to address these issues, end quote. But even if this new law is enforced, will underage drinking really go down? Anecdotal accounts from the University of Colorado at Boulder suggest that stricter enforcement simply pushes drinking to more unsafe places.
Mark Beckner, the chief of police in Boulder, Colorado, a college town, deals with underage drinking every day. So you're basically telling us that you simply can't enforce the law. They are drinking and you cannot enforce it?
Well, we do enforce it, but what we're seeing is it's not being effective. We find a party where we know there's underage drinking, we would seal the house, surround the house with officers, and we would write every single underage person coming out of that house. We wrote hundreds and hundreds of tickets those years. All we did is we pushed it further underground.
But why do students choose to drink underage? Because there's nothing better to do? The Penn State Student Programming Association provides underage students with non-drinking alternatives in order to decrease the amount of underage drinkers on campus. So if these alternatives are present, what drives these students to drink?
It's either you grow up with it or you grow up not wanting to do it. So the people that are going to do it, they're going to do it regardless of what other opportunities the university offers.
Additionally, proponents of MLDA 21 argue that the brain is more fully developed at 21, so the current MLDA 21 is important to keep teenagers from permanently hindering their neural development. But recently, studies have shown that neural development continues all the way to 25. Preventing alcohol use until 21 isn't actually preventing significant neural damage. Proponents of a minimum legal drinking age of 18 point out several benefits of a lower drinking age. They emphasize the potential economic benefits of allowing legal drinking for 3 more years of college students. Additionally, there is potential for schools to implement regulation that would basically regulate alcohol like we regulate driving. Proponents of MLDA 18 also often use the example of Europe when drinking ages are sometimes as low as 12 to show that lower drinking ages encourage families to teach their children how alcohol should be used. However, opponents to MLDA 18 point out that in many of those countries, alcohol abuse is actually much more common than here in the United States. So apparently, family lessons don't work. The issue boils down to this. The MLDA 21 is not working on college campuses in its current form. The 2 major sides are to make the law stricter or to lower the drinking age to 18. Making the law stricter would probably result in fewer students participating in underage drinking if the law is enforced. That's the key part. A stricter law is useless if enforcement doesn't occur or is impossible. Proponents of MLDA 18 argue that enforcement is impossible and thus stricter laws are not going to do anything about the problem of alcohol abuse. They claim that lowering the drinking age to 18 will allow college drinking to be in the open and as a result will be safer and the decisions made will be more responsible. Both sides have strong arguments in support. But what's the truth? It's up to you to decide.